with your weekly channeled oracle reading for January 11th through 17th, 2016. Hello, little hawks. So before we go get Whitehawk and talk about the upcoming week and what insights he has or healings or teachings, I always touch back on the previous week, and as many of you know, you're probably going, well, there was no previous week reading, and you're right, there was one. I just didn't get to post it, and it's a really good one. It's more a healing and a teaching, which is essential for good health in our life, because what happens is we tend to harbor resentments, anger, grief, you name it. Our body is a sponge, and we just absorb it. So say there's a time in your childhood you were unable to speak up often, whether it be to your parents, you just learned to eat those words. And in eating those words and those feelings and those emotions would root themselves somewhere in your body. Yes, this is true. This is something that I have learned along my way from Whitehawk, but also from many other practitioners. We always say most physical stuff starts rooting itself from the emotional mental, or roots itself from the emotional mental into the physical. So last week it was Whitehawk's teaching about bringing stuff from within to without. Now most of us will know that teaching as being a manifestation tool, but it's also a way to bring residual emotions, stuffed grief, stuffed anger, stuffed hate, stuffed rage, all things that you never felt at a time that you should have. Because when we don't speak our truth, when we learn to just stuff it, right? If we don't speak up, say at a meeting about some planning or whatever that we don't agree with, we learn to eat that. And every time we eat that, we're doing harm to our body. So it's good to clear that stuff. And I'm sure there is residual stuff, but is there right from the time you were an infant. I know I've had my share of cleansing and clearing. In fact, taking Reiki, learning to become a Reiki practitioner is really good to help cleanse and clear your body of things that you never spoke of, would dare to speak of, or grief that you never felt for a loss of a grandparent or a spouse or a parent, or moving, or just being angry because in growing up because your personal outlooks did not meet up with the other 4 people in your family, so therefore you were deemed, say, a black sheep or something. And so you learn to stuff those feelings and those words and those emotions, and like I said, they get trapped in your body. So using the from within to without method, you can manifest those emotions and so on to come up, to bring them up and out for release, thereby making you you're releasing that bad energy and you're making way for new energy. That's what we always say, right? But not only when you do stuff like that. So say grief is an easy one, because once you release that grief, and grief is a funny one too, though, because it can come in waves, right? Just when you think you're done grieving, all of a sudden another wave comes up, because say Mother's Day comes along and something triggers the thought of the loss of your mother. So what Whitehawk was teaching us, and I really should put this up, is that sit down and say, there's something in my body that I want to release. You don't need to know what it is. Just say, whatever it is in my body that needs to be released, I'd like for it to come up. Now, it's not going to come up maybe right away like that. You do have to give it 24 hours, 48 hours. And then within that 24-hour, 48 hours, you have to feel what it is you're feeling. And if all of a sudden, someone left the milk bag empty and that causes you to get super, super angry when that normally wouldn't, you should be questioning, okay, what's going on here? What's going on? And then, excuse yourself from whatever for a moment and go to the back and take the 5-10 minutes to journal, and you'd be amazed to what will come out. It may be that, I'm so angry at the fact that my wife went ahead and did this and she never, conferred with me on it. and here we are now stuck in this position or something like that. And you'll be like, wow, where'd that come from, you know? But that was something that obviously needed to come up. And in doing so, then you also probably realize something in this example, such as the case is that, in fact, your wife probably does not consult you, or your spouse does not consult you on many things, and you do not feel like you have a voice in the marriage, say it's just something like that. So then you start working towards getting your voice back in your marriage, and that's how it all sort of comes together. So that's another way of manifesting from within to without, and you're manifesting your voice in that case, because say you're someone who just never spoke up about things. I certainly know that was me. I would just eat my words if I didn't agree, or I would just laugh it off and make a joke, right? And then what happens is you never speak up in any situation, so then you never really get what you want in life. And so then I went through a period of time where my throat was always blocked, lots of blockage. I felt like, I had that big ball in my throat, and for years, and still even for years, I have a hard time wearing turtlenecks. I can't wear turtlenecks because I feel like I'm choking. I love the look of turtlenecks, but that's a reason why I can't wear turtlenecks. And it's also because my throat is very busy in regards to the fact that that's where a lot of my messages come from spirit. And because I'm a channeler and I speak, this is where it comes up from, right? So to me, to put a turtleneck on, it has to be quite a loose turtleneck. Otherwise, I always feel like I'm choking. So try that on. Maybe that's something you'll go, maybe that's why I can't wear turtlenecks either. I always feel like I'm choking, which also could be a past life thing too. Very interesting. Right? So they're a gift at Christmas. They're so light. So that's the Knights of the Templars cross. You'll see in the Christian Crusades. That's the cross. I love this cross. I don't have my necklace on, but my other cross is like that. So look how nice and shiny. So you know what this is? This is a CD. So my sister makes this. So they take and they recycle CDs and vinyls. It's called Rewind Vinyl. And I could probably put the link in my description box if she's ready. Anyways, these are as light as a feather. Imagine if this was silver, how heavy these would be, right? But look at the sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. I love them. All right, let's go to Whitehawk and see what he has to say for the upcoming week. Sorry. Indeed, he says. Welcome to you, one. And welcome to you all to what will prove to be a very out of the ordinary, extraordinary week. And you will ask yourself, why? What is causing this? Why is this happening? And the good news is that it will propel you into a space that you were not expecting. And I can feel that like some of you are kind of like panicking. And Whitehawk says yes, because we are being put into a position we would never have expected to come at this time. And so many of us will feel out of sorts, panicky. Not only panicky, but we'll have problems breathing, which comes hand in hand with the panic and also the uncertainty. But in the end, this was always meant to happen, was always meant to play out this way. And I feel the panic growing. No matter, children. You cannot stop the motion of the ocean. You cannot stop fate, destiny. You cannot get in the way of your soul's teachings, of your soul's contract of your soul's way. And so the only thing I can say to you today is that when you are put into a position that knocks you off your feet, just say, hey, it was always meant to play out this way. Thank you, Whitehawk. And I'm kind of giving him grief, I think, going like, you can't leave us hanging with stuff like that. He goes, well, for many, it will be great news. It will be good news. It will be fantastic news, he says. But what you're doing, Tracy, is you're lingering on the possible bad that can happen. He says, you are putting your personal input in this, and that's henceforth why you are putting a gray cloud over it. And so I would say to the majority of us is just take note that in the end, it was always meant to play out this way. Simple. Easy and simple. God bless. Okay, thank you, Whitehawk. Alright guys, so that's our reading for the week. Let's see what good news does come to us, or great news or great happenings comes from that. I guess we're just going to be put in a position we're just not ready for. And sometimes we're never ready. Like having kids. Anyone have kids? You ever have kids? Yeah, you're never ready for that. So don't postpone because you think you're not ready, because you'll never be ready. Trust me. Never. Never. Anyways, so I wish you luck and good fortune this week as you traverse the terrain of the upcoming week. Don't forget to join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Wanting to mention for Twitter about, I noticed that a lot of my postings weren't getting posted off the iPad. I do it so quickly, and most times I wait, but I guess this last week I haven't been. So it seems like on Twitter that you haven't been getting my daily posts from Whitehawk, the Whitehawk's Wisdom, so I apologize for that. I will endeavor to do better. That is another one of Whitehawk's sayings. All right, guys. God bless. We'll see you next week.